All right, we're going to get started. I apologize for using a microphone, but it's going to help people who might be logged in from home. So we're trying to do a hybrid so that our families that couldn't attend today are still going to benefit from seeing your children's successes. Quick adjustment, I just got a call from the E-Green principal. His student honoree is ill, so he's asked to postpone that student to next month. So E-Green will have 2 next month. That won't matter to most folks that are here today, but just an FYI. And Chafee's running a bit behind, so I may have to reorder everybody's lineup today. So just stay tuned, it's gonna change. We'll be very flexible. Educators are very used to being flexible. So, and I appreciate everyone being here today. So welcome, I'm Maureen Brumman, Superintendent of Schools. We're here to honor your children, your grandchildren, the children that you take care of, for some amazing accomplishments. And why I say that is, this award is probably one of the most special that we give out because your student is being honored today, not just because they have high academic achievement, that's part of it, but also because they show tremendous improvement or they show tremendous leadership skills. All of those are taken into account. That's what makes this award so special, because it's really a well-rounded student who others look up to or emulate, hopefully. So that's why you are here today and why your student is here today. So you should feel super proud. As part of your packet, you'll get all kinds of goodies, little award in there, as well as I think a pen and maybe some magnets for folks to put on their fridges or cars to make sure everyone knows that you have an outstanding student of the month. You've earned the bragging rights. So what happens now is, and one thing I'll mention, and each principal might tell you a little bit of a different nuance as to how they're chosen at the school, but safe to say it's a student that does extraordinarily well, and really, we've kind of done the math on it, less than 1% of our students earn this award in their lifetime with us. So it's that prestigious. So with that, without further ado, we're going to go pretty much in alphabetical order, notwithstanding some of the changes we had to make. So my first, wait a minute, did I see Jason Smith here? Yeah. Oh no, we might need to adjust that again. Looks like you're up, Mr. Gatos. We have, we're going to skip over to John Patterson, and today we are going to honor Miss Rose Miranda, grade 4. So tell us about the wonderful Rose Miranda. You get to come up too, Rose. And you're welcome to do photos, and then at the end I do like to do a group photo for many of my websites and award pages. So you need this so the whole world hears you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Gatos, I'm the building principal at John Patterson. Congratulations to all of our students and our families here. Like Dr. Brumman said, this is a very prestigious award. And so I believe there's 49 students a year who will receive this award. And once you earn this, it's the only time you can earn it throughout your Newington Public Schools career. So a very, very prestigious award. We have a process at John Patterson that's very similar to all the elementary schools, where we put it out to our entire staff, and the staff gets to submit nominations. And then from those nominations, a small committee gets together and then ultimately makes the selection for Student of the Month. So at Patterson this month is Rose Miranda. Rose is a 4th grade student at John Patterson in Mrs. Carson's class. She was nominated and selected for the award this month because she's an all-around good citizen, her excellent behavior, her outstanding effort and attitude, her academic excellence, and her contributions to our school, community, and fellow students. Mrs. Carson writes in her nomination of Rose, "I'm nominating Rose Miranda for Student of the Month. She is friendly, engaged, and a kind student. She works very hard every day to do her best. During instruction, she's always listening and participating on a regular basis. Rose readily advocates for herself by asking clarifying questions and expressing some things she needs to help her learn. She is a friend to everyone at John Patterson and is a great classmate to all. Her classmates see her as a leader and a role model. She was nominated as our class representative for Student Council. She demonstrates Patterson pride and encourages others to do so as well. She is so deserving to be named Student of the Month." After I received that nomination, 2 of her other teachers chimed in. She had Mrs. Jensen for 2nd and 3rd grade. The class looped up with Mrs. Jensen, and Mrs. Jensen asked if you can go back. She goes, when she gave me a comment, she goes, "Rose is awesome. Could she come back to my class?" I said, "I think she's looking forward to 5th grade." So in addition to calling her awesome, she said you have a great sense of humor, and your classmates kind of saw you as the light of the room. Your most impressive trait was your determination. While she had some struggles, she never ever gave up. She worked hard every day, and that is what stayed with me ever since I had Rose. Her work ethic and determination was contagious and infectious. Mrs. Sanzo, her first grade teacher, said that I'm so happy for Rose. It's nice to see her hard work paying off. She was always polite, kind, and respectful. She had great empathy for her classmates. As mentioned above, she's an awesome student in Mrs. Carson's class. She's a student council representative for us, and her favorite subject is reading. She's also a member of our chorus. She's a role model at John Patterson and an example of the best we have to offer. Congratulations.
Miss Rose, this is your certificate. And would anyone like to take a picture for the paparazzi? Thank you. Congratulations, sweetie. These are all your goodies. Very cool. Very nice for you too, Rose, Miranda. I did see Mr. Jason Smith arrive, so now we are going to bring up Mr. James Pritchard from Anne Arundel School, grade 4. Come on up. Let's hear about the wonderful news.
Hello, sorry I'm late. A lot of people out today, so I had to get over here. So congratulations to James Pritchard for being Anne Arundel's Outstanding Student of the Month for January. James was new to Anne Arundel in 3rd grade, and there is not a student over the years that I've had in my 7 years at Anne Arundel that had made such growth in such a short period of time that I can't really get into it a lot of the things, but there's not a student that I'm more proud to stand up here next to in all my years. So I just wanted to mention that, but I have a lot to say about him as well from his teachers. Mrs. Dreisen, his 4th grade teacher, says James embodies the qualities of a role model in room 27 and around Anne Arundel. He is kind and compassionate towards others and can always be found doing what's right. James is often one of the first students to be prepared and ready to learn. He actively listens and enthusiastically participates. This diligence is carried throughout the day as James takes his time to put forth his best work. James perseveres through challenges and pushes himself. Mrs. Gallup has also commented on what a super job James is doing with his instrument. Mrs. Dreisen wholeheartedly nominates James for January Student of the Month. Mrs. Boisine, James' 3rd grade teacher, says James came to us as a new student last year in 3rd grade. Although I'm sure it wasn't easy, James did a wonderful job getting used to a new school fairly quickly. He was always polite and kind to adults, teachers, and other students in class and around the school. James did his very best every day to work hard in class. He completed his work, followed directions, he knew our class and school rules and did his best to follow them, acting as a role model to others. I have been lucky, Mrs. Boisine shared, I've been lucky to continue to be able to work with James and my school family this year. As a 4th grader, he is responsible for bringing kindergarten students safely to my classroom. James is always the first to show up for his younger children. During school families, James is a role model for the younger and older students. He acts with respect while listening to other students' ideas. He contributes thoughtfully to our discussions and helps the younger children complete any task we may have. I'm so proud that James has been chosen for this honor. He truly deserves it. Newington Public Schools is lucky to have James as a student in our school. Mrs. Schumacher, his art teacher, says James is kind and respectful to all students and staff. He is hardworking, takes his time, and independently completes his work to meet the criteria. Mrs. Alves, his media teacher, says that James is a wonderful student. He's eager to learn and quite the problem solver. Recently, she gave the students a breakout room activity where they had to solve a series of puzzles in order to break out and solve the problem. Not only was James the first to break out, but he did so without needing a single clue from her. James is also kind, caring, and has always shown her respect. I am so very proud of James for earning this wonderful achievement. Congratulations. Mrs. Gallup, his music teacher, says that James is motivated and a hard-working student. He's an eager, engaged learner who always has his hand raised to answer questions. James is always willing to help other students, and he's a role model when it comes to following the ABCs of Anne Arundel's community. Mr. Piltz, his wellness teacher, says that he frequently uses James' level of focus as an example for the rest of the class. If he needs their attention, he just says, "Everyone look at James," Now please do what James is doing. He is facing me and listening. James put forth his maximum effort all the time, and it's such a pleasure to have in class. James was a member of the school chorus. He currently plays trumpet and band, and outside of school, James plays basketball for Parks and Rec. Congratulations, James, for being Anne Reynolds' Outstanding Student of the Month.
Just so the folks in the room know, a student by the name of Herrera was to be honored at from E-Green today, but she'll be honored next month when she's hopefully feeling better. And we're going to come back to Ruth Chafee until Miss Lawrence arrives. So we are now going to fast forward to our Martin Kellogg recipient, Mr. Justin Sochika. Sochika. My apologies.
No one gets it right.
I'm so sorry. And to present his award is Mr. Jason Lambert, Principal.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I'd like to also say congratulations to all of the families of the recipients today. This is a big deal, you know, and I truly believe this is a big deal not only for our outstanding students, but also our families as well. You know, we're trying to gauge whether you're getting it right as a parent and you're using positive influences, and I can't think of a better testament to all of your influences to help shape these fine young students. So thank you for everything that you do to send us such great kids every day. And we're so excited to celebrate Justin today. This is an unusual pick for us. At the middle level, we every month have anywhere between 30 and 45 students that are nominated by their classroom teachers. And from that group, we have a committee that moves forward our Outstanding Student of the Month. Now, although we recognize all of our nominees, one person rises to the top. And I will say it is unusual for a fifth grader to receive this recognition. Now, usually we like to have our students kind of show their stuff a little bit, you know, and although James, I'm excited for you to come up to fifth grade next year, but you get this once, and we'll give you plenty of opportunities to show your stuff as well. But it is unusual, and the committee just could not look beyond Justin's accomplishments this year, and we're excited to tell you a little bit about what he's achieved. So here is what his teachers and some of his support staff members have to say. What does it take to be an outstanding student of the month at MKMS? It takes demonstrating our school's 4 pillars: respect, responsibility, integrity, and pride on a consistent basis. But it also means demonstrating unique character traits that stand out above the rest. Justin is receiving this honor for all those reasons and more. Justin enters the classroom every morning with a positive attitude. He is typically one of the first students in the room, preparing his work area for the day. He's quick to get settled and begin the morning procedures. Justin always meets classroom expectations and adheres to the routines that are in place. We even went back and talked to his 4th grade teacher, who describes him as an amazing leader, yet humble, encouraging others, motivated in achieving his goals, and a role model for all. It comes as no surprise that he's carried this forward at Martin Kellogg. Justin is a hardworking, conscientious student who takes academics very seriously. He's always working to improve his grades and skills. As a matter of fact, his goal for the second half of the school year is to improve his grades in math. Justin is extremely responsible, often checking the homework plan on Google Classrooms for assignments, and always strives to do well. Justin's reading teacher shares the following. Justin always demonstrates a genuine commitment to whatever work is presented to him. He's clearly invested in improving academically. His affect truly impacts his peers in a positive way. His delightful humor can bring joy to just about anyone. Justin's participation is definitely commendable. His hand is constantly up as he is eager to share and willing to take risks, even if he's not entirely sure of the correct answer. Justin is actively engaged in classroom discussions and makes meaningful contributions. In his math and science classes, Justin is a solid worker. He's always on task and never needs to be redirected. Justin knows what is expected of him and always follows through with these expectations. He comes into the classrooms ready to learn on a daily basis. He's very strong academically and has good background knowledge of previous skills taught and is eager to take on any new learning and or learning challenges. He participates daily and his hand is always ready to share up and ready to share out his thinking. He knows how to advocate for himself when something is unclear. His math and science teacher states, Justin has no problem coming to see me for extra help and accepts any constructive feedback I give. He is creative with his thinking and shows a love for learning. He works well with others and can work just about with anyone in the class and is very kind to his peers and knows how to treat others with respect. He is truly kind-hearted and an overall great kid. Justin's physical education teacher echoes these very, very genuine and kind sentiments. She shared that he is always willing to demonstrate activities for the class, shows great sportsmanship and teamwork with other students, and that he consistently cheers on his classmates and encourages them during gameplay. Likewise, Justin's media teacher raved about his citizenship and work ethic. She stated that Justin is always attentive in class and works diligently on all of his assignments. He participates well, and I can always rely on him to be doing the right thing. In his media class this fall, he researched and created a presentation on water pollution and presented this information to the class with confidence. His message was that we should clean the beaches to prevent litter in the ocean, and his presentation was informative, well-researched, and very convincing. One other thing that impresses me about Justin was his thoughtful feedback he gives to his classmates about their presentations. When each student finished their presentation, Justin raised his hand to offer specific praise to the presenter, and that showed that he was really listening. His classmates and I all appreciated his participation and kindness. When Justin was asked why he thinks he received this award, he responded by saying, "Because I help others." And this is definitely true. What stands out about Justin is his kindness to his peers, his acceptance of others, and how helpful he is. On more than one occasion, his teachers have witnessed him helping out a peer who couldn't carry all of his belongings, letting a student get to the locker before him, and lending a helping hand to a friend. Most importantly, his language arts teacher recently witnessed him doing the right thing when no one was watching, and stood up for another student who was being teased. There was Justin advocating for that student and helped to mediate that situation in a very mature and appropriate manner. He was an upstander, despite the fact that he took a risk about being frowned upon by his friends to call him out, but in the end, they respected him all the more and continue to do so this day. Justin said later it wasn't right that the boy was being teased and all of the other peers should be treated well. He commented that he had just had to do the right thing in that situation no matter what. That speaks to Justin's character and the kind of student and individual he is. A few other things about Justin. His favorite subject is math. He says it comes easily to him, and he understands the concepts well. He is enjoying being at Martin Kellogg so far, even though he says it's a little bit harder than elementary school. He likes his teachers and meeting new friends. He loves soccer. He plays all year long, and he, like many kids his age, has a passion for video games. In his free time, he enjoys watching movies too, and he attributes some of his success this year to his sister. Will you hear that?
Wow. We don't hear that often.
Who, coincidentally, was also nominated for the January Student of the Month. I'm going to let you argue about that over dinner. He says that he really appreciates her willingness to help out with his homework and give sound advice. Like most siblings, they may not always see eye to eye, but they help each other and are there for her when it matters. Some pieces of advice Justin would like to give incoming fifth graders are: work hard, prepare for a bigger school and new kids, and pay attention and focus to be successful. In the future, Justin hopes to be an engineer, just like his uncle. He has a knack for building and creating things, and there's no telling what the future will bring for this young man, but based on what he is shown, the sky is the limit. Justin, everyone.
Justin, this is for you. Does any of the parents or paparazzi want to join us? I'll do, like I said, a group photo at the end. And I just realized, as I was hearing all the wonderful things about Justin and the other students, which are making me very happy on Monday afternoon, I usually ask students what advice they would give to their colleagues or their other students about their success. I'm gonna let you do that first, and then everyone else gets teed up, then I'm gonna ask them that in a few minutes. What would you give for advice to fellow students?
It's a little harder for 5th grade, but it gets easier when you focus and listen to your teacher and do your work.
You know, we'd like to have all these students in the room multiplied. And cloned, I suppose, is the right word. Anyway, congratulations, and here are your goodies. All righty. And I did see Miss Lawrence join us, so we are now going to honor our Ruth Chafee School honoree, Connor Herrera. Come on up, Connor.
Hello everyone, I apologize for my tardiness today. It was an eventful day at Chafee today, so here I am, taking a deep breath. So you can see this wonderful, handsome young man standing here next to me. He has been a member of Chafee School since kindergarten, and you know, we had a conversation today, and I just talked to him about, you know, when you get this particular, award. And I believe he shared with me that his sister also received it, and I think she was in 4th grade. So I think, in his words, he beat her because he got it as a 3rd grader. And so we just talked about, you know, what it takes to, you know, be a recipient of this award and that, you know. And I said to him, he has shown it since he's been a kindergartner, believe it or not. And so I'll just share all of the wonderful things that all of his teachers, his former teachers and current teacher has said about him. Connor is an incredible student and an amazing person. Connor puts others first and is a great friend to his classmates, and this comes from his teacher, Ms. Juliano. He might sit down with someone at recess until they feel better, or be a partner to someone who needs one. I've witnessed that myself. When I asked Connor's friends why he was chosen to be our Outstanding Student of the Month, they said, Connor is kind, funny, and helpful. He makes us laugh, he helps us if we need it. Also, he is kind to everyone. One classmate said, when someone asks him for help, he helps as much as he can. I see Connor building up those around him all the time. Connor enjoys making our classroom a fun place to learn. He is so engaged in his learning and constantly participating. Most impressively, Connor frequently models perseverance for his classmates. He sees things through, even if it's a challenge, and shows amazing independence along the way. Connor is one of those kids you know will keep making the world a better place. It is such a pleasure to work with him every day, and an honor to be a part of his journey as his 3rd grade teacher. I'm so proud of Connor and cannot wait to keep watching him grow. Mrs. Grimm, 2nd grade teacher, said, Connor is an exceptional student. I have had the privilege of working with him both as a 1st and 2nd grader, where he made so much growth and built his confidence on a daily basis. He has always shown a positive demeanor toward his teachers, classmates, and friends, and I'm even going to add his principal. And he has earned the respect of others as a result. Connor is also a student who perseveres, I'm sure you all are hearing a theme here, in his work. He isn't afraid to challenge himself with difficult tasks and takes on each day to make it better than the last one. He is an avid reader who enjoys researching, writing, and teaching others about the topics he is passionate about. In addition, he is a curious learner who asks thoughtful questions to help him learn more about the world around him. Connor is an example of a student who sets goals for himself and puts in great effort to achieve them. Congratulations, Connor, on a job well done. So Connor, I'm gonna have you just take a deep breath because that was a lot to take in, and there's more. You ready? All right, here we go. Connor is not just exceptional in the classroom, but he is in all other areas of the school, and this comes from Mr. Lieber, his wellness teacher. Mr. Lieber took a moment to talk about the time he shares with Connor and Jim. He goes on to say how he is an outstanding student in wellness. He is always ready and eager to learn. He is very respectful and demonstrates great sportsmanship during any activity. He sets such a good example for other students on how to behave in competitive situations. Connor is an all-around great kid. Mrs. Lewis, technology and she reiterates what a great friend Connor is to his peers. He is always eager to come to technology class, and he works very hard to learn and create new things. Connor is quick to help anyone who may need a hand. Even Mr. Ballin couldn't say enough about him. Mr. Ballin is our music teacher. He just like we continue to hear over and over today that Connor is a thoughtful and focused learner, especially in music. He's always attentive, ready to answer any questions, and gives his best effort to sing and make music. He's easily well qualified for Outstanding Student of the Month. As you can see here today, Connor is beyond deserving of being our Ruth Chafee Outstanding Student of the Month. We know that he has a very successful future ahead of him and will continue to make Chafee and all of us proud. Congratulations, Connor. And I would like to just add that Connor shared with me that one of the things that he is now learning to do, which I think really speaks to someone who is persevering and someone ready to take on new challenges, is he is now doing his own laundry. I'll introduce to you Connor, our Outstanding Student of the Month.
I think doing your laundry in third grade is a drop the mic moment. Look at mom, or,
Yeah.
Miss Laura, you missed your opportunity.
I did, I'm sorry.
Come on back up. I'll be in the photo with the
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Tell me, oops, I'm gonna trip over myself. Tell me what youth would give as advice to other children at Ruth Chafee to be successful.
I would give advice about staying focused when others are distracting, and whenever someone's feeling sad, try and cheer them on, and always listen to the teachers and always help with them.
Thank you very much, Connor. Those are words of advice. And I think the folks in the room can see now why this award is so special. There's not a single student that we've heard about yet, and in a few moments to be heard about, who isn't very special in leadership, kindness. And I always say to parents, one of our goals for children as they leave Newington Public Schools is to be, we call it the vision of the graduate, where they're good communicators, they're good with collaboration, they're good about thinking. I'm pretty sure the students we're talking about today have already crossed that threshold pretty well. We'll keep working with them, but I think they're already more than halfway there. So now it is my distinct pleasure to bring up Mr. Daniel Dias from John Wallace, who will tell us about Colleen Balla. Come on up, Colleen.
Thank you, everyone. It's really an honor to be here today and share this special day with all of our families that are here today. And Connor, you've given me an idea that, I know Colleen probably already does this, but if we add the requirement of doing your own laundry to the Student of the Month at John Wallace.
Parents would be all over that.
Right?
I like it.
Excellent. So it's my honor here today to say some words about Colleen. So Colleen is a grade 8 student at John Wallace Middle School. She has been nominated for Student of the Month by the grade 8 team of teachers based on the fact that she consistently demonstrates each of the 5 pillars of Wallace Pride. At John Wallace, our pride pillars kind of exemplify our expectations for all of our students. That's preparation, respect, integrity, determination, and excellence. And we're very proud of Colleen and excited today to share words about her from her teachers at today's ceremony, and you'll see from their comments that she does truly exemplify our pride pillars and our expectations at John Wallace. So in terms of preparation, Colleen is a student who consistently comes prepared for class, not just with the physical items needed, but with the mindset and that she's ready to learn. And she's a great role model for her peers in the classroom. With respect, Colleen demonstrates respect for herself, her peers, and the adults in her building on a daily basis. She treats others with kindness and brings positivity wherever she goes. In the area of integrity, she's a student that has earned the trust of her teachers and peers. We all know that Colleen can be counted on to treat others fairly and to make positive choices, even when there may be at times some temptation to do otherwise. She advocates for herself, ensures all of her assignments are complete, and does this all with a maturity that we hope all of her peers will model. In terms of determination, Colleen does not give up on her learning, and as the school year progresses, concepts and skills become increasingly more challenging, and Colleen continues to rise to each challenge. She not only strives to do well, but reaches out to her teachers for guidance or clarification if needed. This speaks to her willingness and drive to do what it takes to continue to grow as a learner. And with excellence, Colleen is motivated and a responsible student. She is motivated by reaching her full potential as a learner and pushes herself to do the best each day in class. She works diligently to achieve her goals. I asked some of Colleen's teachers to give me some information and share some words today about her at the ceremony. So here's a few quotes from some of your teachers. Mrs. Perot, who is her social studies teacher, shared that Colleen is prepared every single day. She comes into class with a smile and a hello, and she's a positive role model for all of her peers. She has grown as a reader and writer in social studies class this year. She's motivated, determined, and kind, and she's an absolute pleasure to teach, and I am proud of her daily efforts. Ms. Stebbins, her science teacher, shared, Colleen is extremely kind to everyone. She's always ready to learn, a positive role model for her peers, and an absolute pleasure to have as a student. Ms. Pino, her Spanish teacher, says Colleen embodies what it means to be a role model. She's kind, respectful, determined, and hardworking. She shows up each day with a smile and a positive attitude and consistently exceeds the standards of her classroom. My classroom is a better place because of Colleen. What a compliment. Ms. Cosienda, her math teacher, Colleen always comes to class with a positive attitude. She's extremely conscientious. Her continuous perseverance, even when math problems are challenging, has been a great example and a role model for her peers in the classroom. And finally, Mr. Kelly, the band teacher. Colleen is the epitome of the word integrity. She is kind and respectful to everyone, incredibly responsible, and has a strong work ethic. All these wonderful traits help to make Colleen an amazing role model for her peers. So that's a consistent theme throughout, is that you truly are a role model for your peers. Colleen, as I shared with Mr. Kelly, is a member of our band. She plays the flute. She does an excellent job in our school band. We spoke this morning a little bit about today's ceremony, shared a little more information. Colleen's excited about going to Newington High School next year. We're not sure yet exactly what career field, but most likely something probably in the medical field. So we talked a little about that today. And I did ask Colleen, as far as recommendations, Dr. Brown, I'm sorry to steal your question at the end, for next year for students who are coming up. I visit the fourth graders every spring and always give advice. And I always ask, our eighth graders what I should share. And Colleen shared, the biggest thing is to give your best effort and to make sure you complete all of your assignments. That's going to get you on a good path moving forward. And one new thing Colleen's thinking about doing is maybe starting lacrosse this spring. Mr. Gatos, I know lacrosse. Fan there. And again, Colleen really truly does serve as a role model to her peers at John Wallace Middle School. We're excited to learn about the wonderful things that'll happen at Newington High School for you, and we're very proud of you and congratulate you and your family on being selected as John Wallace Middle School's Outstanding Student of the Month.
Let James and Rose know if at the end you'd like to come up and give your words of wisdom. I do not want to miss out on those. That's an important part of my ceremony. So after I bring up our next student, we'll ask you to come up if you'd like to, okay? All right. So my next award winner is a Newington High School student by the name of James, aka Jimmy Vendetti. He's also a student board of ed rep emeritus. And he is going to be discussed today by Mr. Piccielli. Is Ms. Tigno coming up too, or is she just here for moral support? All right, no crying aloud, Ms. Tigno. Oh. Come on up, Jimmy.
I always joke around with Jimmy that he needs to stop one-upping my outfits. It's open house or whatever it might be. He walks around the school, I'm like, Jimmy, if you just had a radio on you and an ID, you would think you're But it gives me great pleasure to introduce to everybody James Jimmy Vendetti. He's our Outstanding Student of the Month. He was chosen out of roughly 1,300 students at the high school. And as all you can know, as mentioned today, you can only receive this once in your Newington Public Schools career. So a staff member nominated Jimmy, and of course I read the email, I'm like, Jimmy's gotten it. Early on, I'm checking, there's a master list that your name will be on forever once you get this award. And I'm checking this list, and I see a Jack Vendetti on there, and I literally was like, this must be a typo, and it's supposed to be Jimmy. So then I did some research, and upon talking to Jimmy, it is Jack is his little brother, and both Jack and his sister Mia have both won the Outstanding Student of the Month award, and up until today, they're not shy to remind him that he's a lone sibling who has not been an Outstanding Student of the Month. But I could truly not handpick someone who's more of a role model within our family of learners. Academically, Jimmy's performance at NHS has been nothing short of outstanding, and Jimmy has been able to excel academically while also being involved in many extracurriculars, such as the following: Student Council President, Senior Class Vice President, Science National Honor Society President, Cross Country Captain, Indoor Track Captain, Outdoor Track, Chamber Choir. Performing arts, Jimmy has had major roles in the musical for 4 straight years. DECA Co-President, National Honor Society, Rho Kappa Honor Society, English National Honor Society, and Spanish National Honor Society. Not bad. In the little time that Jimmy apparently has free, he shared with me that he's a huge Lego guy, and that the Lego set pretty much takes up the entire basement. And according to Jimmy, he said he has so many Lego sets, they could probably pay for college if we were to sell them all. I told him his parents would be more than willing to entertain this idea. But next year, Jimmy hopes to attend either Georgetown or Holy Cross, major in government politics, and pursue law after that. But aside from the commitment Jimmy has to academics and the extracurriculars you just heard about, what distinguishes Jimmy from his peers are the characteristics which cannot be quantified. Much like the other outstanding students of the month here today, it's Jimmy's personality, kind nature, and leadership qualities that stand out both in and out of the classroom. You'll see this theme in the comments made by his teachers of what truly makes Jimmy a standout student here at NHS. English teacher Mr. Sanflone says, in many ways, Jimmy is the ideal student. He is hardworking and diligent, but his dedication to his work is balanced by a healthy sense of humor, perspective, and a true enjoyment of learning. In class discussions, he can always be depended on to offer unique thoughts and opinions or to ask insightful questions. Science teacher Ms. Klopfer adds that Jimmy is an amazing student who puts 110% effort into everything that he does. He's a leader in the NHS community and works to ensure that everyone is included in all events. From planning school spirit events to talking with people in the hallways, Jimmy always makes sure to include people. His kindness and compassion, coupled with his drive to make the world a better place, will surely be missed when he graduates from NHS. Jimmy's history teacher, Ms. Sullivan, says that Jimmy is a true academic. He loves to learn new things and is always excited to be in class. Jimmy loves to participate in class and shares his wonderful ideas. Jimmy always brings a positive attitude and a sense of humor to the classroom. NHS principal Ms. Tigno, who's here today, and she was very upset. I told her to keep it short because I had so many long comments from teachers. But she said that Jimmy is the backbone of the family of learners, and the acronym PRES summarizes them perfectly. P for passionate, R for reliable, E for extraordinary, and S for sincere.
If I had more time, I would have been president.
We know. Yeah. Business teacher Ms. Miller says that Jimmy's a leader and a coach. He works extremely hard in all classes and exceeds expectation. He works independently and helps others constantly. While in class during her study hall periods, he is often helping students in other classes who are behind or struggling. Jimmy is also part of the DECA competition coaching team, where he reviews other students' practice competitions to help them improve for their competition. The time and attention he has put into providing high-level feedback demonstrates his understanding of business content / DECA, as well as his commitment to helping others. Most of all, Jimmy is just an all-around great kid, and you can always count on him to make you laugh. As you can see, Jimmy has made quite the impression on his teachers. However, what I hope stood out to you is not simply the fact that Jimmy has taken a rigorous course load, maintains strong grades, is involved in many extracurriculars, and has an extensive Lego set. It is Jimmy's character, personality, leadership qualities, and kind nature that truly make him a role model here at NHS. Jimmy, on behalf of Newington High School, congratulations on finally being able to brag to your brother and sister that you are also a Newington Public Schools outstanding student.
question. Tell us, did you always have these skills, or what was any turning point for you in school that you might suggest to other students that kind of helped you along the way?
Hi.
This was 3 minutes?
Just kidding. So I'd say like the turning point is I actually started to get involved. I ran for class office when I was a sophomore, and I never looked back. It was awesome. Since then, you've noticed that you have an impact on your school, and if there's one piece of advice I could give the underclassmen and middle schoolers, elementary schoolers, it's get involved. Do something. It's not, if you see a problem, deal with it. If you see something you're not happy with, try to do something to mitigate that. But more than that, ask for help. There are students out there who want to help you and want to see change, so do that. Thanks, guys.
All right, before I make some closing remarks, I want to invite James Pritchard back up and Miss Rose Miranda back up to see if they want to offer some advice. Come on up. I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. Come on up. All right, so the question is, what would you recommend to your fellow students about achieving this kind of an award?
To listen to your teachers, give other kids advice, always be kind, and to do all your work.
Love it. Thank you so much. Great suggestion.
To work hard and advocate for others, but not just others and yourself.
Very nice. Closing remarks, and then I'm going to have the honorees come up for a final group photo. We have refreshments in the back. Please avail yourself of those. These are brand new now that we're back together in person. We've had this ceremony videotaped, so I will send it out to all families either later today or tomorrow, so those that couldn't be here can have a copy of it, or you just want to re-watch how awesome your student is, which if I were you, I would. So I just want to thank you all for coming, and I'm pretty sure someone already said this, but all of our attendees today, thank you for sharing your students with us. They have made our district a better place. They continue to impact their own academic achievements, but also, I'm sure you heard this throughout their comments and their acknowledgments, that they also help their fellow students. So that's what makes our awardees today so special. So we're going to do another round of applause. All right, and I'll ask the folks that are here today, the awardees, come on up for a group photo. And parents can also take a group photo if they like. And then you're welcome to enjoy the refreshments. Better to kind of get right under that monitor, black monitor. Everyone kind of, since we're only 5 today, right? I'll take my 3 elementary friends up front here. Come on up front, I'll hold the back row. There you go. One more person up front. You can go in front of that. There we go. Does that work, Mr. Gatos? Do you have the entire?
You're getting a lot of light on the.
Maybe more you can move to your left away
All right, everyone shove to the left. The little girl. How's that? Awesome.
That just means you've been trained well.
Everyone all set?